This is question number 11 from the 5C notes, and this question ties in the idea of percentages and two-way tables from Unit 1 with this new idea of pie charts that we covered in section 5C. So in this problem, we're told there was a study done about food allergies in children. So the study involved 21,875 children under 18 years old, and those children were divided up by age and by the presence of a food allergy. Okay, so by age, there was a younger group of children, they were age 0 to 9, and an older group of children, they were age 10 to 18. And then for our food allergy, either yes, the food allergy was present, or no, the food allergy was not present. And that information was organized into this two-way table. Okay, so we were asked some questions. Our first question is asking, what percent of the children had a food allergy? So I'm going to translate this into our template from Unit 1. Blank percent of blank equals blank. Okay, and the value immediately following the word of is our reference value. So we need to figure out what our reference value is. So we're asked what percent, we don't know, so I'm going to put an X, percent of the children. So my reference value is all the children. It doesn't say anything there about whether the children were older or younger. It doesn't say anything about their food allergy status. It just says what percent of the children. So that's going to be all the children in the study. So what percent of the 21,875 children in the study? So what percent of the children in the study had a food allergy? So this is going to be the number that have the food allergy. So number with food allergy. And remember in our template, allergy, in our template, the bookends have to match. They have to be describing the same thing. So we're finding the percent with a food allergy. In my first slot of the template, and then our number with the food allergy. So everyone in this first row has a food allergy. There are 1,728 children with a food allergy. Now, they've been split up into the younger column and the older column, but everyone in that row has a food allergy. So when I go to solve this, when I go to answer this question, I'm going to translate this template into an equation, X percent of, so times, all the children in the survey equal the number that have the food allergy. So we'll just solve this equation real quick. I'm going to divide both sides by 21,287. Let's see what my calculator gives me for that. Typing this into my calculator right now. Okay, and I got 0.08117, etc. So that's going to be approximately 8%. If I move my decimal place 2 place values over, I move my decimal 2 place values over, that'd be about 8%. Okay, so about 8% of all the children in the survey had food allergies. 8 out of 100. Okay, now what does our next question ask? The next question is asking what percent, so again, that's going to be X percent of blank. What am I referencing this time? So what percent of the children age 0 to 9? So now my reference is going to be children age 0 to 9. So all children age 0 to 9. So when I look at my table here, all children in this column are age 0 to 9. So that's a total of 10,653 children. Now, some of those younger children have food allergies. Some of them do not have a food allergy. But there are 10,653 of those younger children in the 0 to 9 age category altogether. So what percent of the children had the food allergy? So now I need the number with the food allergy. And looking at that table, The food allergy is up here. That's 897 of those younger children had a food allergy. So now that we've picked out our values, we're just going to calculate that. Okay, so I translated the information from the template to an equation. I solved the equation and I got approximately 8.4% of the children in that younger age group had a food allergy. Okay, now what does this last question ask us here? So the last question, I'm going to erase some of this markings I've done here. So the last question is asking us what percent, so X percent, of children with a food allergy. So I'm going to focus in only on the children with a food allergy. Well, all children in this first row have a food allergy. So again, my total is going to be the 1,728. My reference group, I'm referencing all children with food allergies. So all children with food allergies. All children with food allergies. Okay, so what percent of those 1,728 children with food allergies were in the younger age group? So I need the number that were age 0 to 9. So again, everyone in this row, they're split up to younger versus older, and we're going to focus in just on those younger children in that food allergy row. So that's going to be the 897. So let's calculate. Okay, so when I translated that template to an equation and I solved the equation, I got about 51.9%. So a little more than half of the children that had food allergies were in the younger age group. So none of these problems in A, B, or C were new. This is all from Unit 1, so this was review. But now we're going to connect the information from C and from D. We're going to display that information in a pie chart, and that's what we're doing on the next page. So up at the top, up at the top, I was supposed to transfer the information from the previous page to this page, but I did not. I made some typos. Let's change those. Okay, in part C, we found that it was 8.4% of the children in that younger age group had a food allergy. And we found that it was 51.9% of children with a food allergy were in the younger age group. Okay, so we're going to try to connect this information to a pie chart. So for the pie chart in E, I need to think about, okay, would the pie chart best represent the information that we found in part C or the information we calculated in part D? So looking at this pie chart, I can go back to one of my benchmark percents. Half is 50%. Half would be 50%. So I have a shaded area that's a little bit bigger than 50% and a shaded area that's a little bit less than 50%. So we're definitely going to go with the information from part D to fill in the pie chart here. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see. Okay. So the shaded area, this lighter gray, that's going to be my 51.9%. This lighter gray shaded area. It's a little bit more than half. And from that, I have to be able to fill out all this other information. I need to know a title. I need to find the other percentage. I need to see what each shaded region is representing. Well, remember the entire pie chart has to add up to 100%. So to find this other percent, I'm just going to use some logic there. I'm going to take the 100% minus the 51.9% that we already know. And when we subtract that, that gives us our 48.1% there. So I'm going to do 48.1% to represent that dark shaded region. But what are those regions even representing? What did this 51.9% represent? Well, the entire pie chart is representing my reference value. So what are we referencing? So in part D, we're referencing all children with a food allergy. And we're splitting those up into 2 age groups, right? So my reference was all children with a food allergy. So this whole circle is going to represent all children with food allergies. And then we're taking that set and breaking it up into younger versus older. Now remember with your bookends, the 59.1% has to be related to this age category over here. So that 51.9% is representing our age 0 to 9 kiddos. Everyone has a food allergy in this graph. Some are younger, some are older. So the lighter shaded region is going to be children age 0 to 9. So by default, the darker shaded region is going to be children age 10 to 18. So my title always refers to my reference value. In this case, it was all children with food allergies. And then the pie chart is dividing them into subgroups. We had subgroups by age here. Some of those children with food allergies were age 0 to 9, and some were age 10 to 18. So I filled in all the pieces of my pie chart here. So now let's try F. So by default down here, F is going to represent the information from part C. And I'm going to rewrite that down here, just so I don't have to scroll back up there. Okay. And this makes sense, right? I have this little slice of pie here. That seems like it could represent 8.4%. That seems reasonable. So I can find that other percent there. I know the whole pie has to add up to 100%. So if I subtract out that little shaded piece there, let's see what we get. So 100 minus 8.4 is going to give us 91.6%. So I'm going to label this one 91.6%. Okay, but what are those shaded regions representing? Well, let's think about what this entire pie chart is representing. Let's think about our reference value. What is our reference value here? Because that's going to tell me what my pie chart is representing, and that's going to tell me what the title to this graph should be. So let's come back over here. 84% of what? Of children in that younger age group. So my title of my graph, I'm referencing all children, or children in the study, I should say, right? Not all children. I'm representing children in the study. Age 0 to 9. And I'm splitting those younger children, that younger group of children, into either they have a food allergy or they don't. So this 8.4% has to match the other book in there, which was food allergies. So this 8.4%, that darker shaded region is going to be the kids that have food allergies, the kids in that age group, in that younger age group that have food allergies. Put another L in there. So by default, the kids not in that shaded region are not going to have the food allergies. So down here, there are going to be no food allergies. So no food allergies. That's how I'm going to label that lighter shaded region. Okay, and I've clicked all the boxes. I have a title based on what my what I was referencing, what my reference value is. Y'all, I cannot spell today to save my life. That's my reference value. Okay, I've labeled what each slice of that pie represents. I've labeled it in words over here in my key, and I've labeled it with values, with percents as my summaries there. So I've clicked off all the boxes. Okay, so if you got these right, awesome. If you didn't and you watched this video to fill in the blanks, great. If you still have questions, that's okay. Come see Jennifer and I in office hours or reach out to one of your tutoring resources.